What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to break down some Ethereum and talk about the coming merge as well as the SPY and talk about the correlation and whether we're going to see that continue or we're going to see this breakout. So let's talk about Ethereum real quick. And obviously I said in my last video, if you guys paid attention and if you've been keeping up, I don't have a ton of time to make videos all the time, but I do try and get them out there when I think there's something to be said or some new information to relay. So that's kind of what I'm doing here in this video, just talking about some new things that I think are interesting. And the first thing is the upcoming proof of stake blockchain switch. So as you guys know, the coming merge is been anticipated for a long time with Ethereum. So Ethereum 2.0, if you go to like crypto, it has like Ethereum 2 and Ethereum 1, but they're both like the exact same because right now it's just both Ethereum. But soon Ethereum 2, which will take over Ethereum, will be the new proof of stake protocol that's going to make it a lot more efficient. It's going to speed things up. It's going to make things more versatile and more efficient for other industries to also merge and try to work with the Ethereum network. So this here talks about the difference between Bitcoin and Ethereum, and talking about how they both rely on the proof of work system to execute secure transactions that enable cryptocurrency trading and everything else that lives on the blockchain. Computers around the world connect to validate the transactions, solving cryptographic puzzles in a competition to mine blocks and earn valuable crypto for the people who operate them. Proof of stake, which is already used by other blockchains, can drastically reduce the amount of energy used by having miners lock up crypto they already own as collateral for the chance to validate transactions and face the penalty of losing those tokens if their calculations don't add up. Shifting the network over in September, which is a strategy that not everyone who currently mines Ethereum is happy about, will put it a bit outside the 3-month window Chris Dixon proposed on our Decoder podcast in April, but it could help address one huge issue with Web3 and blockchain projects once it's complete. So it's just talking about the ability for this to make Ethereum much more energy efficient, which is one of the biggest knocks that has come against crypto and Ethereum, and specifically crypto miners that use a lot of energy. So this is fossil fuels, and they've been burning coal or wherever they are in the world. So it's not good for the planet, and crypto is supposed to be something that is not just environmentally friendly, but also protects you from government corruption and all these other things, right? That runs rampant in this world. So the big thing here, though, is the date to talk about and the idea of when is this going to happen. So this article points out that the switch is most likely to occur, so the merge to 2.0 is more likely to occur in September, probably around the 15th or 16th. So that's about a month away, right? So in about a month, we're going to see Ethereum 2.0 go live, right? So that's the gist of that article, and that's what it's talking about. And you can see over the past month, or I should say week, we've seen this thing rally, right? And I made my video a couple weeks ago. I think it was around this area here. It was on the 24th or the 23rd of July, and I basically said that what we want to look for is if the SPY, which is the S&P 500, which is the overall ETF that follows the biggest stock market in the world, the United States, it basically is going to tell you the correlation between crypto and the regular overall equity markets has been the exact same, right? They've just moved in tandem. So if the SPY goes up, Ethereum goes up. So we've been seeing that for quite a while now, right? You see this monthly chart. And back when I made that video, I said that that could be the time, predicting the merge, that we could see a breakout. Obviously, then we saw a big dip here, about like, a 10% dip, that, 10-15% dip, that a lot of people were like, oh man, that sucks. But like I said in my last video, if you look at the overall market in the past few months, right? So when I said that, it was back here. We had a big dip, and then all of a sudden we had this dip in the market, right? So over the next week, we had a down draw in the markets, which is exactly what we saw in the crypto markets, a down draw. Just they're a little bit more exasperated in the Ethereum markets, because crypto is a lot more volatile, um, it's a lot more weighted because a lot of people are in with a lot of leverage. So this means that you have bigger moves, which is good and bad. But obviously it's good for people that are looking to hold long term and to see their money exponentially grow. But so when I tell you around here that you should just keep an eye on this thing and understand that we have a chance to break out from this level. And a lot of times what they'll do is they'll fake you out, right? So they did the same thing in the SPY. You thought here we were going to have a big breakdown because we had this huge, crappy start to the year. So everybody thought, okay, this is not going to rally again. This is just going to break down. But of course, we've had a rally in the last few weeks, so that we're looking like we might want to break out again if we can get above this last wedge, right, which we've already done the last few days, but we need to consistently stay above it, maybe go to 430 and 440, and then we'll know that we're out of the woods and maybe look to buy a pullback in the overall markets. And you can say the same thing with Ethereum, right? So like I said, like I wanted to see it break out and not follow the overall markets anymore. I wanted to see it start trading on its own and start to trade as its own kind of its own equity, you could kind of say, or its own stock, or its own crypto, and not trade with the overall markets, but it's still following the overall market. So you can see that clearly in the run-up that we've had over the last day, right? Because as the market broke out, so did Ethereum. So we've been seeing the same thing. So that's why I was saying, like, you need to just watch the SPY, and if the SPY goes up, then you buy it. If the SPY goes down, then, obviously you don't want to be buying it unless you're looking to add for long term, right? You're looking to average down in your position, or you're looking to trade it. But we still see the activity down here is still 79% to the buy side in Ethereum, right? So we've seen kind of the breakout happening, and as long as the overall market can kind of break back up, break through this wedge here, break through these kind of resistance levels with certainty, the next one will be at this 430, 440 level, 435. If it can break back above that and kind of get back on its kind of bullish trend again, if we can break out, which this is a very bullish trend right here, but like we still want to be cautious right now. So I don't necessarily think you should just jump in and buy, because I do think we're going to have a big pullback upcoming. But at the same time, if the market just keeps going up, Ethereum's going to keep going up. And with the merge coming up in the next month, right, we want to be kind of watching it, and we want to be understanding how Ethereum will move with the overall markets. But if people are going to anticipate this merge and people are going to look to get in, we want to just be constantly vigilant about buying at the right times and getting in before you have these huge jumps, which means looking at these levels and understanding where you have support and where you have resistance, right? So if you look over the last month, you have a lot of resistance at the 2000 and 2100. That was like the big resistance level until we broke over, and then 23 became. So those are going to be your buying levels if we have kind of another dip down, right? You want to be buying these resistance levels as we come back down, if we do come back down at all, right? So this is kind of the idea of trading, is just understand these levels, because if you go back and you look at kind of where this thing had problems before, you'll see that like the 1700, well, you have to go back kind of all the way, but you had these levels of 1700 before where it stopped at, and these are where I was buying it back when I told you guys in December, or I should say in early 2020, that there was these levels where you could get in because they were resistance levels, and I was seeing them break, so I was getting in to anticipate the break, and then I ran it up. But now we're looking to buy it at those same levels, right? Which is why you had the hold, and now you had the support coming in after it was able to kind of break through those resistance levels again, and now we have an upward trend. So all I'm trying to say is that you want to look at these levels where you have consolidation, right? Where you have this kind of consolidating here at 24. So now 24 is going to be a good support level. You have this consolidation here around 23, and obviously round numbers are going to be important, but it's more important to understand the overall trend of the SPY and whether this is going to continue to correlate. If we continue to watch the SPY and we watch crypto, specifically Ethereum, because it's going to be the most volatile because of this coming merge, we want to see both of them move in tandem, both of them keep moving up, so then we kind of just hold and maybe take profits when we see kind of a pullback happening, or when we see a lot of selling coming into the SPY. But other than that, I would say anticipate this coming, you know, merge that's going to happen in September, you want to kind of be anticipating this and buying early rather than buying late. I'm not saying buying at these levels because we are a little overshot. I think we're going to have a pullback over the next coming week or two. So when we have this big pullback in the SPY, we want to be buying crypto to hold these levels if we believe in the long term. If you don't believe in the long term, or if you think crypto is just a scam, then don't buy it. Don't get into it because it's not something that is going to be valuable for you. But I think it's valuable for not just us, but for the world, and it's going to be something that is going to change the world. And just because you have like a negative year or whatever, just like the overall market did, you can't be like, I'm still up 50% from what I bought, you know, a year ago, and I could have been buying it again this year and still be up that 50%. So there's money to be made here. Volatility is good. You just have to understand why it's being volatile and when to take advantage of that, right? When to be aggressive and then when to kind of take your profits, right? So right now, I wouldn't say it's a bad time to take your profits if you were buying down here, or if you bought at 17, right? When I made that video and then it started to fall, if you bought at 17.50, it'd be probably good to sell some up here, right? And then wait to see if there's a breakout and then kind of add. But other than that, that's all I want to say in this video. Hopefully we see crypto break out. Hopefully we see Ethereum start to rip to new highs. And hopefully it can, you know, take off from the overall market and not continue to follow it, and so, you know, consistently. I'd like to see Ethereum put in new highs while the market just kind of goes sideways. That'd be really nice. Anyway, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, guys. Feel free to subscribe and like, and I'll come back out with you with another video soon. Thanks.